They consider this to be the most important election in many ways since the return to democracy in the 1970s. There's certainly never been a regional election that has been monitored so closely on the TV stations in other regions. Many people have followed the debates in the run-up to this election, followed the campaigning. Spaniards really feel that the unity of the country is at stake, and they don't take the attitude that the British took in the case of Scotland, for instance, that attitude of well, give them a referendum and let's settle this matter once and for all. They really take the attitude that Catalonia is wealthy, partly because of poor people who have moved to Catalonia over the decades, even over hundreds of years, to work there, and that Spain and all Spaniards should decide on how to redraw any borders. And so they're watching this very closely because they're seeing the opinion polls, and they know that the pro-independence parties could lose their share of the votes. They've never managed to gain more than 50%. They have 47.7%, and they know that they might lose that. But because of the PR system, they may hang on to their majority of seats in the Catalan Parliament, and that may mean that tomorrow we wake up to find that this stalemate, this division between Catalans continues.
Sarah, what does this poll mean for the Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy?
Well, he's staked a lot of political capital on this vote, not just because he intervened in the region, took it over using Article 155 to call a regional election, but also because he has visited the region on the campaign trail to back the People's Party's candidate there, Xavier Albiol. And it looks as if in the polls, the People's Party could fall to last place. It already had very few seats. It could end up with just 5 seats in the 135 seat of Parliament. That would be very bad news. But the government takes the attitude that they have intervened at the right time, and that there's likely to be a boost for the anti-independence parties, and that there could be some form of coalition to end nationalism in the region, because nationalist parties have governed the region for most of the democratic history, and there may be a real chance, the government feels, for a coalition of what is being called the constitutionalist parties. That might be a pact with the socialists, with the Citizens Party, which in some polls, that unionist Citizens Party is polling in first place.